Now you don't have to edit your form manually. You can use Jotform AI to edit your form. So follow me to my desktop to show you how right now. Hey, what's up everyone? This is Jotform, and on this video, I'm going to show you how to edit your form using Jotform AI. So it's going to be super easy. So let's get started. This is my main workspace, and we're going to get started with the form that I'm going to use for this purpose. In this case, I'm going to use this feedback form. So let's go ahead and jump into the edit form. And this will take us to the form builder. Now, yes, we can go ahead and start editing this form manually, but I'm going to use Form Copilot AI. So I can go ahead and ask it anything I want, and it will make the changes. If I need to remove elements, if I need to add elements, and if I need to modify these elements, I can do all of this using the AI right here. Now, I can go ahead and start chatting with it right now. So let's get started with making a few changes. In this case, I want to add and modify form fields to get started, okay? So let's get started by adding a form field. So in this case, I want to add, let's go ahead and find out an element, a date picker, okay? So let me go ahead and tell the Copilot right here. Here we go, here's my first request, and I'm just telling it that I want to add a date picker to my form. Now, the Form Copilot is thinking, and it's going to add that element to my form. And here it is, it's working, and here's the date picker added to my form. So it's super easy and practical to add any of the elements available to your form. Let's go ahead and add a new one. So now I want to add a drop-down menu. Here we go, I am setting this custom prompt right here. And aside from adding the element, I'm actually telling it to add colors to this. That way I have selections already added to this element. So it's working now for me. Here we go. And the question is color. And here we go. 5 colors are added to this. It even saves me time. So instead of adding this manually by dragging and dropping and typing in each one of these colors, it did it for me with AI, which is pretty practical if you ask me. Now, how about modifying one of these elements? Now, in this case, let's go ahead and modify this specific element. Right now, it just says color. So I want to tell it to make this a question. So I wanted to say, for example, please pick a color. So let's go ahead and tell the Copilot right now. Here we go, sending this off right now. And instead of just saying color, I wanted to change it to please choose a color from the menu. Here we go. It knows that I'm talking about this element, and it knows that it needs to make the change right here. And here we go. It just changed it for me. I'm able to customize it straight from here. How about making this a required element? So let's go ahead and tell it right now. Make the color element required. So let's go ahead and send this off. Again, it's going to know which element I'm talking about because it understands what the elements are for. So in this case, it is now required. I can see here the red star, and I can go ahead and confirm this in the properties and the required option right here. So it's super easy and practical to make these changes with the AI Copilot. Now, how about deleting and duplicating fields? Well, that is possible too. So now I'm going to tell it to remove the file upload in this specific form. So let me go ahead and tell it right now. Here we go, sending off my prompt to remove the file upload element. So again, it understands what the form is for. Here we go. It is now just confirming because this is about deleting an element. So it wants to make sure that we want this. Let's go ahead and delete, and it knows that it's the field upload element. Okay. So here we go. It now knows that that's the element. Here we go. It is now gone. So it deleted the element really easily. Okay. How about another use case? How about duplicating? Maybe we need 2 phone numbers because one is going to be for the home phone and the second one is going to be for cellular. So let's just go ahead and duplicate one of these. So let me go ahead and tell it to duplicate the phone number. Here we go, sending out my prompt. And in this case, I'm going to duplicate the phone number element. And I actually told it to change it to cellular phone number. So I'm getting a head start here, and I'm saving time by doing 2 things at the same time. So here we go. I just duplicated this element and it changed it to cellular phone number. So that's a quick use case that might be useful for you guys. So it's super easy and practical, again, to use the Form Copilot AI. Now, how about reordering the form fields using AI? That is possible too. So let's just say that I want to reorder this by moving the address and the phone numbers to the end. Let me go ahead and tell it right now. Here we go. Let's go ahead and ask. Here we go, sending out the prompt right now. And I'm telling it to reorder the form elements, the phone numbers, and the address to the bottom. Okay. And here we go. They are now reordered in the bottom. So it's super easy to reorder the form fields using AI. So instead of doing this manually, I can do this with bulk edit. So take for example, how about making all the form fields required? So instead of going into each one of these, going into the properties and making each one of these required, I'm going to tell the AI to do this for me in all the elements. So let me go ahead and tell it right now. Here we go, sending out my prompt right now. Make all the form fields required. That way, no one can skip these. And here we go, it's working in each one of these elements, and they are all required now. So that means I didn't have to do this manually one by one. So the bulk edit in the AI chat is super practical. So making changes is going to be super easy. Now, how about managing the form pages with AI? So I'm going to tell it to split this into 3 pages. So let's go ahead and kick off AI, send out my prompt, and it's going to do its job. So let's give this a few seconds. Here we go. It made the split for me. And you can see here, it is now split into 3 sections. Now, the sections are empty because I've just split it. I didn't tell it to add the elements or split the elements into equal parts. But I can do that by asking AI right here. So it's super easy and practical by just telling AI to do this for me. Now, how about undo and redo changes? Now, first thing is that you have an option here that says undo. So for example, right now I split this form into 3 pages and I can undo this by clicking undo. Now that's a quick option that you can use to undo changes by just clicking on this, but I can ask it to undo or redo changes. So how about making a change and then doing a redo? Okay, so how about removing an element and then returning that element back by asking AI? So let's go ahead and do that right now. So let's go ahead and remove the phone number. Here we go, sending this off, remove the phone number element. And it's going to do it for me in a few seconds. Here we go. Confirming the delete field. Yes, confirming. And now it's going to do its job to remove that element. Here we go. It is getting removed and it is now gone. Now, again, I can click on undo and it's going to bring it back. But in this case, I'm going to chat with it and tell it to bring it back. So redo this. All right. Here we go. Sending this off. I need to undo the changes. So bring back the element. So I'm being really specific here on what I need. I'm being really specific on what I need. And here we go. The phone number is back. So it's super easy to undo and redo changes. So it's practical to use AI to make all these changes right here on Jotform. So what are you waiting for? Sign up right now for Jotform, start building your form with AI, and get started really easily. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that's a wrap.